Thank you for having me on Teaching for the Culture. I'm Henry Shake Washington, and I'm running for school board, Hillsborough County School Board, District 5.
Teaching for the Culture. This is your host, Bianca Goolsby, and I am doing a candidate interview of Mr. Henry Shea Washington. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing, sir?
Okay, I'm doing good, Bianca. I'm happy to be here.
Good, good. Well, I'm so thankful and honored that you are here. So let's go ahead and get this interview started. So my first question is, what motivates you to want to become a school board member?
Well, number one is my ability to, I think, to know the school system and being able to help students succeed in an achievement schools, because students are number one. And all my life, I put students number one. And when you put students number one, you can't go wrong. So I want I'm here for students, I'm here for teachers, and I'm here for parents. And I think the school board really needs that now. A person that understands and knows the school system.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So describe your top three objectives if you were elected to be a school board member.
Number one, my first objective is equity in education, because I think equity in education is so important when you're dealing with achievement school. You see, equity in schools are differentiated between different people. Because some people say, well, what you have at school A, it should be at school B. But that's not necessarily true, because school A might need a lot more than school B. So you can't say they all are the same. They do not have the same equality, because we have what we have in Hillsborough County school system is what we have in Bianca. We have a formula system. And so if I have 350 students at school B, 350 students at school C, we all should have the same amount of assistance. And that's not necessarily true, because some schools are way more needier than other schools, and you can have the same amount of students. At school C, you may need four four social workers. At school B, you may not need four social workers because the community is involved, and where you are is involved. So
Mhm.
we need to get away, we need to move away from that and go to what is needed for equity at those schools and the appropriate resources that need to be there to close the achievement gap. My second is engagement in the community. And I've always been a community person, Bianca, because I believe in the community, because the community made Shake Washington. I didn't make the community. I was born and reared in a low socioeconomic community, and I've always gone back to give back to the community. I believe in being out there with the people. And it's difficult time, because when you out there with the people, sometimes they're going to criticize you. But you are a public official, and that's what they do to you. Everybody's not going to like you. And I understand that as a person, but I'm going to help every person that I can and every student that I can to be successful. And I will be in that community, because I've been in that community ever since I retired. I'm always out in the community helping people, speaking to students, going to schools, and whatever I can do, because I believe in the school system. You think I've been in the school since 42 years, but 12 years as a student. So 54 years I've been involved in the school district. So quite naturally, I want people to succeed and be very successful. The last, the last point, experience matters. You know, very few people can say they started as an assistant teacher and came all the way up to an area superintendent. I have that luxury of saying that because I've done it. And when I stand in front of people, I speak with confidence. I don't speak what people tell me. Well, we think it might be like that. I'm telling you from experience, because I've been where you've been, Bianca. I've been where other teachers have been. I've been where AP ones have been. I've been where AP twos have been. I've been where APCs have been. I've been where principals have been. And I've been where area superintendents have been. So when I stand up and talk to a group of people, I'm talking from experience and what I have learned through my years in the Hillsborough County Public School System.
I love it. I love that answer. So, what do you see the current challenges facing the public school system in our state and in our country?
Uh, Number one, Number one, I think very important. First of all, we have people. Let's go with people at the state level, legislature. We have people making decisions that knows nothing about education. You know, we don't have educational people there who have been teachers or assistant principals or principals, administrators in the school system. We don't have those people up there. We have elected officials that's going by what they think or what people have told them. And I'm quite sure if they would have been in the school system, some of the decisions that they're making for the school system would not have been made. Because it's important to know what you are talking about and where you have been when you make decisions for students. Don't make decisions what's best for you. We're making decisions what's best for students. You know, we probably would not have as many achievement schools that we have in the state of Florida if we had educators up there helping out to make some of those decisions. But we don't. We have people who are making decisions, has no knowledge about education. Our level, most important. We have people on the school board that never been in education. And you know, we need a conglomeration of a lot of people on the school board because that's what makes the school board. We have business, we have corporate, we have a lot of things going on. But we need people on the school board that know something about education. Because how can you make a decision for a child if you don't know about education? You've never been there. How can you make a decision for a teacher and you've never been there before? You can only feel, Bianca, but you don't know because you've never been there before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's so important to have these people there. When we start electing educators on the board and educators at the state level, I think the education department would be much better.
I agree. I agree with that. What do you think are 2 to 3 needs that must be priorities for this district to address?
Number one, achievement. Achievement schools is most important. It's really important because we can't have kids that can't read and write. We need to have programs. Now, you know, Bianca, you've been a teacher before. You know this. We have programs that tell us, well, you know, little Johnny can't read or James can't read. Okay, so James can't read. You sit down in the program, tell you can't read. But we spend thousands and thousands of dollars on programs telling us how little Johnny and James can't read. But we don't spend money on teaching us how to teach them how to read and write
Mm-hmm.
because we are following a process that has not been productive over years. Not just now, not just when Shake Washington was area superintendent or when I was a principal, have not been productive. And in order for a program to be put, you got to give it time. You can't panic. We panic. After 2 or 3 years, if it's not working, we go to something else. And I can say this because when I went to Chamberlain High School, when Dr. Leonard them sent me to Chamberlain High School to do what I had to do to make it successful, they gave me time. They say, Shake, we're going to give you time. This is your school. We're going to give you time to make it successful. And they gave me time. And when I left Chamberlain, we were very successful. Got to give it time. You have to give programs to people. You have to give programs that's going to work for all students. That's going to be successful for student equity at every school should have different programs because you're dealing with different people.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, we must we must believe in the people that we put in front of students. We have to have that confidence that the person we put in front of students is going to teach those students and do the very best for parents and students at that school. I don't think teachers have enough confidence in administration. Now that's just my viewpoint. I may be off a tab, but being a former administrator and a teacher, we have to support our teachers. Okay, they say, well, all teachers not good. That's true. All administrators not good. Nobody is perfect in life. If we were perfect, we probably wouldn't be here. But the one thing I can say, if we put somebody out there in front of people, we have to support them. All students are not perfect, but we have to support teachers when they are out there. We need at the state level, we need to pay them their worth. We need to put the very best teachers in front of people. And we need to have confidence in those teachers that they're going to do a good job and not criticize them. You know, it's like your family. You don't criticize your family because that's your family. You know, you look stupid criticizing your family. It's the same when we have teachers out front. We have to support those teachers. We have to pay them. We have to give them money. And you know what's important too? We have to support them not only with money, we have to support teachers with discipline. You see, I've always been a disciplinarian, and not a disciplinarian to the point where I just bam and slash kids, but I am a disciplinarian. I am in full belief you come to school to learn and do what is best to make you successful in society. And all my students I've had as a principal, as an AP, as a teacher, they can tell you, Mr. Washington love us, but he's going to tell you if you're not doing what's right, and he's going to tell you what you need to do to correct your problems.
Mm-hmm.
If we can do that, if we can do that and build in a family atmosphere and not be on argument, not be against each other, but work together as a team, we could be successful in Hillsborough County.
Mm-hmm.
But it starts at the top. And that's what I believe.
You're right. You're right. So speaking of the top, what do you think should be the priority of the new superintendent coming in?
First, the priority is very important for a new superintendent because you're working with the seventh largest school district in the nation. First priority should be, you know, he or she needs to go out in the community because you know superintendents. I mean, a lot of them they go out to certain communities. You are a superintendent for all communities, not just one community. You know, you need to go out in the community and see if you can work together and get the communities working together because the school is no greater than its community.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and I think the superintendent needs to do that. Next, which is I think very important, the superintendent needs to be able to move the achievement school and close the achievement gap. We need to put resources. The superintendent need to put resources in those schools to help the schools out. Because I go back to, you can't say all schools are the same because they're not. The superintendent needs to get his staff together and say, look, let's get together and let's find out what each school needs. Some schools may need more than others, some may need less. But whatever they need, let's go out and help those schools succeed in those communities and build those communities up and meet with those community leaders and advocates and let them give you input because you don't know. If you're not out there, it's a lot goes on out there and you don't know about. You only know about the things that people tell you. But go out and meet the community, meet people. Uh, go to certain events. You need to be there. You're visible. You are the ultimate person in the school district. I don't see any person in Hillsborough County that should not know the superintendent. Every person in Hillsborough County should know the superintendent. You operate in the seventh largest school district in America. People should know you. You should all brands and names and people should know you. Those are things I think the superintendent should do. And I think if he or she would do that, they could be really successful. Because it's all about building a family.
Mm-hmm.
No family is greater than the people that within the family. No one person is greater than the family. It's a family. You build together, you work together, and you are successful when you do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So my last question for you is how can people support you?
Well, this is it. I uh, I just started my campaign, and I want people to support me monetarily as well as vote. And and one of the ways because I have what I'm going to do, Bianca, is give you a phone number. I'm gonna call you in your next show because I'm just getting all of it together now, and I want you to be able to give them the phone number where they can call me because I want to be supportive of the community.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be able to call me. But let's understand when they call me, I want them to have a solution also so I can convey that to other people in positions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I need support, money support. I need people out to vote. I'm going to need people to go to Shape for school board, Shape for Hillsborough County School Board, um, and go out and just pass the word out for me and let people know that I'm here to help people. Because word of mouth is much better than anything you can do. Two things you can do: you can vote and you can tell people about me. And I'm going to have my website up running by Monday because I just started. I just filed a week or two ago. So I'm gonna have my website up running, and they can come in and they can read about the history of what I've done, and if they want to campaign with me, I would be more than happy. So I would be giving you that information because I'm working with my group now. In fact, tomorrow we should be complete. Everything should be completed by tomorrow.
Okay, fabulous. Well, I will definitely update the community on that as soon as you share that with me. I will make sure that the community is aware of what's going on, and so that they can stay involved and active. And I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day just to tell people, you know, your mission, your why, and why you're running for school board. And I look forward to your campaign, Teaching for the Culture. Looks forward to supporting you and your efforts in running for school board.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And you have a great day.